What if you could be with your past loved ones again? What if for a day they could come back and visit you and see how much you have grown? Today I am here to inform you about Dia de los Muertos. In translation, the Day of the Dead. Part of living life is losing others around you, and this holiday celebrates their stories when they were among the living. It helps remember the most important people in our lifetime. It reminds us that even if they are not physically there, they still live within us. I will now be sharing the annual tradition known as Dia de los Muertos. To begin, I will be talking about the creation of this holiday, as well as how each practice of it originated. Dia de los Muertos is a tradition that evolved over time and adopted ideas from other cultures. The University of New Mexico's Rachel Witt, the author of Dia de los Muertos, Honoring Family, Celebrating Life, writes, the tradition further develops along religious timelines when the Spanish introduced Roman Catholicism to Mexico and is now celebrated across Latin America and in various ways around the world. This practice of honoring the dead began with groups such as the Aztecs, Mayans, and Toltecs. This continued and combined with the Catholic practices of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day to become Dia de los Muertos. In ancient Mesoamerica, the Aztecs, Mayans, and Toltecs commemorated their dead by honoring them during certain months. These were divided based on if the deceased was an adult or a child. All Saints' Day was created during the Roman Empire's persecution of Christians. In honor of the martyrs who died for their faith, All Saints' Day was created for them and is celebrated on November 1st, while All Souls' Day, celebrated on November 2nd, was later created in the 10th century to honor the souls who are lost in purgatory. Other practices were developed and adopted as well, such as leaving food for the deceased and making ofrendas in homes. In ancient Mexican rituals, food, water, and tools were offered to the deceased to help their journey to travel to the land of the dead. This travel in the afterlife is believed to take several years to accomplish. To explain these practices and traditions come together, I will now be sharing the modern tradition of Dia de los Muertos. Although this holiday is known for the dead, it is actually a celebration of life. It is unfortunate and sad to lose loved ones, but Dia de los Muertos is about remembering the joy of when they were alive. It is full of color and happiness. On November 1st, the Day of the Dead begins with the remembrance of children, while half of November 2nd is spent remembering the adults, and the other half remembering all who have died. This is where All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day have mixed in with Mexican culture. Ofrendas, or offerings, are gathered together to honor the deceased. To help visualize the ofrenda, Surreal Ventures writes, a brightly colored oilcloth covers the table, and on top of that sits a collection of photographs and personal items of the departed person. The lower portion of the altar is where the offerings are placed, from traditional Mexican cuisine to other items that represent the honored person's particular tastes. In here, the practice of helping the dead on their travel has transformed into a way of enticing the dead to come visit their living loved ones. Now that I have shared the old and new celebrations of Dia de los Muertos, let's review. We have learned about the origins of the Day of the Dead practices, as well as how they have mixed together and transformed into what it is now. The dead will always be missed. With this holiday, they are celebrated and loved as if they never left the land of the living. Dia de los Muertos allows such an impossible belief to feel true.